How is everyone? We are going to go live and we are going to talk about immigration for same sex couples. But as usual, if you do have immigration questions, please put them in the chat and I will try to address them. So we are live on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So hi, TikTok. That's where we get the most engagement. And well, hi from California. Hi. We are in Florida, so um, we love your weather. Anyway, that being said, uh, I'm glad you're joining us from California. What I wanted to tell those who are not familiar with us so far, I wanted to tell you that even though we are located in Florida, we handle immigration cases all over the United States and all over the world. We have clients in all states at this point. We have not missed one. I'm still waiting for a client from Guam. That I don't yet have, but we'll go with that. And I still say I have all the states. So, we have clients all over the world as well, and we are looking to get more. So today we're going to talk about immigration for same-sex couples. And before I get into that, let's see if we have questions. Is the citizens test easy or not? Well, it depends on how good your English is and how good you are at taking tests on the topics of civics. You can prepare. It is very easy to prepare for. And as long as you can take the test, you'll be fine. The test usually it's not the issue. Usually it's answering the proper questions on the application and making sure you're not lying about anything and you are telling 100% the truth. So immigration for same-sex couples. What are their options? What can they do? How does that work? So most of the time, what we see is a couple, usually a US citizen or a permanent resident already in the United States, dating someone here just like any other couple. They fall in love and they want to get married. What we also see is people who travel abroad, US citizens or permanent residents, and they travel outside the United States. And in their travels, business pleasure, they get to meet someone and they fall in love with that person. And either right away, because there is love at first sight, or after they have been dating for a while, they are ready to take the next step and they want to be together in the United States. So we are going to talk about what are options for these couples. Of course, in addition to being same-sex couples, because we are talking and focusing on couples, in addition to that, people who are part of the LGBTQ community can apply for asylum if they are already in the United States, depending on their country of origin. There are other visas available if they have been victim of a crime, especially violent crimes. If they have been victim of trafficking, that is also, they also have options in those cases. So no matter what it is, you probably have some sort of option. But let's focus today on couples because that's what the topic is. So if the couple is here in the United States, it does not matter if you are a US citizen or a permanent resident. If you are ready to take your relationship to the next level, you are going to get married and then file for your spouse. You, the US citizen or the permanent resident, are going to petition for your spouse, depending on your status in the United States, how you entered the United States, how long ago, if you ever had a deportation or removal order or removal proceedings, or you perhaps are in immigration court right now. If that is the case, then you cannot do what's called a one-step green card application, and then the process takes a few steps. Okay, so Let's say it's a clean-cut case. You entered on a tourist visa, for example, and you met someone, and before you were ready to go back, you guys decided to get married. No issue if it's US citizen or permanent resident. Once you're married, they can petition for you. At the same time, you are filing for the green card, work permit, travel permit. Then you wait for your fingerprints, and then you eventually get the work permit, social security, driver's license, and the green card. So that is the process, okay? Now, if you have entered the country without inspection, or you are past the period of authorized stay under your visa, if you are past that, then the process is different. The process is you file the initial petition, then you have to, if you are a permanent resident, you cannot, the other party needs to be a US citizen. So we are talking about a lot of different options depending on your status, depending on how you entered the country, how long ago. Do you have a removal order? Do you not have a removal order? How long ago did you get that removal order? Or deportation. Most people call it deportation. It hasn't been called deportation in a while. So that's what we are looking at when we are talking about same-sex couples. Now, in general, if one party is outside the United States, only a US citizen can petition for a fiancé. And in some cases, fiancé is faster than it is to get married and doing it through a spouse petition. Okay? The process in terms of length and how long it takes really depends on how many, depends on your country, okay? And it depends on how fast that particular consulate moves, okay, in processing the applications. So let's focus on those who are already in the United States and what the process would be for a same-sex couple. What are the red flags? Okay, what's the government looking for? They are going to look like any other couple. Age difference, difference in cultural background, difference in language. How do they communicate with each other? Especially with same-sex couples, are they out to the community as LGBT couples? Are they, do the parents know? Are each parties' families aware of their relationship and of their marriage? If not, why not? So we need to worry about those things in particular for same-sex couples. Also, if one of them has been married before and they had been married but not to a partner of the same sex, you need to be able to explain that. So we need to look at all these little things. People who are part of the LGBTQ community. I can't even speak. I'm so tired. I've been here since morning. So, oh, hi, Yasmin. Oh, Yaminis. Okay, Yami, I guess. All right. We are located in Florida. We are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but we help immigrants everywhere make the United States their permanent home. And we have clients, I was just mentioning at the beginning of the live, we have clients all over the United States and all over the world. And we can help you. Give us a call if you have questions. Our number is in the bio, and you can also see it at 954-231-4840. If you guys have immigration questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. I haven't seen any yet, so that's great because I get to talk about my topic. So yeah. All right. So what other red flags do we have in case of same-sex couples? Any allegations of domestic violence or any allegations of abuse are red flags. So we need to look at those. So remember, there are always ways to overcome an objections or to be able to prove certain things to immigration. As long as you are honest with your lawyer, you tell them ahead of time, okay? Noya wants to know, will USCIS waive interview to remove the 2 year conditions? Maybe, maybe not. It depends on how complete your initial application was when you filed the 751. Okay, the more documentation you have that shows that you entered into your marriage in good faith with your spouse and you joined financial responsibility, family responsibilities, and so on, and you can prove it on paper, the easier it will be for them to waive the interview. Does it happen a lot? We'll see. And the reason I say we'll see is they are so backed up right now that when they are issuing the receipts for the removal of conditions, the receipts are actually issued for a 4-year period. So your 2-year green card is actually extended for 4 more years. Okay? And because of volume. So since they started waiving and because the applications take so long, we do not yet have accurate and enough information, accurate number of cases that have been approved or denied or waived interview, because it hasn't been again at the 2 to 4 year mark since they started waiving interviews. Hopefully, Noya, that helped you. Is there a consultation free? Is the consultation free, or is there a consultation fee, or it's a free consultation? We do not have free consultations. This is the way we provide free service to the community. Okay, you can ask your questions here. Other than that, you would have to reserve time on our calendar, and we'll be more than happy to discuss the particulars of your case. And honestly, I have not yet seen 2 cases that are identical. We get this quite a bit where we have people saying, well, my cousin got their green card in 3 months. And I'm like, well, show me the green card, show me the application. And where was it? And it's totally different type of case, or they don't even have the cousin. So no, we do not do free consultations. What's the best way for DACA recipient to become permanent resident? It depends on the DACA recipient, okay? It depends on how they entered the country. If they entered without inspection, how old they were, who are they, how do they want to get their residence? Through employment, through marriage? How are they going to do that? Is their spouse part of the military? There are many, many questions that we need to ask to see. The best way, it's the one that is the honest way. And when I would tell you, it's not, definitely not employment. Let's put it that way, okay? That's not going to be your best way. All right. At what degree do you have to be a victim to get your visa? How much do you have to help law enforcement? Okay, you have to be a victim of a crime of violence. There is a specific list of those crimes, okay? There is a specific list of those crimes, and it really does depend on where did the crime occur. For example, a certain type of sexual assault, for example, it's a crime in one state, but based on the same facts, it may not be a crime of violence in another state. That is totally a local determination based on the state. And how much do you have to help law enforcement? You have to report to law enforcement. You have to cooperate with law enforcement so that they can apprehend, they can catch the abuser or the person who committed the crime. And if needed, you have to help in prosecution. So do you have to go through the whole gamut of things? No, not necessarily. It really depends on, is the law enforcement officer or the one you cooperated with that you helped catch the person who committed the crime. If you help them catch that person, the police officer, the law enforcement agency may certify your U visa. If you didn't, and they caught them after, and then you just testified in court, maybe the state attorney or the prosecutor in the case can certify the visa, okay? As long as you get it certified, you are more than likely to be approved for the visa. Visa right now, they take forever though. You might want to look at other options as well, okay? Sanjay, if I have a C1D visa, can I apply for a B1, B2? Yes, you can. Remember, when you are applying for a B1, B2 visa, you have to show that you have to show that you are going to return back home, and that you, by overwhelming evidence, you have every intent of going back. How do you usually prove that? You prove by showing ties back home. You have family, you're married, have kids, you have perhaps property back home or a steady job. If you have C1D, your whole family is abroad, and you have been returning back home after your C1D contracts, after your cruise ships, then yes, you can apply for a B1, B2. Most of my clients who have a C1D are also able to get a B1, B2. Okay. Talk about I-730 family reunion. I applied in 2021 and still waiting approval. Those applications take forever, as in forever. There is litigation right now because of those cases. You might want to contact your attorney who helped you file the I-730 and ask them particularly, because it's very location specific. It also depends on the country and which consulate, okay? Bogota right now, for example, in Colombia, is just not moving. Nothing's getting done there. So it really depends on where we're talking about. Does USCIS calculate the time of receiving the documents to approve your VAWA case? The calculation for any immigration case starts only from the time they received your case and they issued a receipt. So in case of VAWA, okay, they are about 2 to 3 months behind. If you submitted the VAWA application, say in December, just about now, okay, or in March, you should be getting the receipt. When the receipt is going to be issued, it's going to be issued with the date it was received in the mailroom, okay? So they do start calculating, hold on, okay. They do start calculating from the time it was received in the mailroom. All right, so hopefully that helps you, okay? Once you get that, hopefully, depending on how much documentation you submitted, hopefully within a few months after that, you get a prima facie determination, so you can get perhaps a driver's license. Marlene, I'm a citizen. I filed for my unmarried son in 2017. What is the wait time? Marlene, it really depends. Here is the way you need to look at that. When you file that petition, the I-130, it has what's called a priority date, okay? When you look at that priority date, you have that receipt in your hand, you go to Visa Bulletin, you really go Visa Bulletin in Google, and then you go check there, depending on the country that you're from, depending when your son is from, and the particular category, it will tell you how long the wait is. Yeah, sir, is it legal to study English as B2 visa? Also, is it true it will impact next time if I want a visa again? It depends. You can take any class if you're here on a tourist visa, as long as it's not for credit, as long as it's not part of an educational requirement. It's the same thing as taking a painting class. You can be here and take a painting class. Okay, so yes, definitely. Okay. I came on C1D. I never work on the ship. If I marry citizen, can I adjust? Absolutely not. You will not be able to adjust if you came on C1D. How about green card to marry? No, you cannot. All right. My pleasure, Merlin. Seriously, go to Visa Bulletin and you'll see it, okay? And depends on the country, okay? So let's wrap this up. For those people who are in a same-sex relationship with someone from abroad, if you are a US citizen, you can and you have met in person at least once in the last 2 years, you can petition for them as fiancé. If you are, if you're a citizen, you can petition for them as fiancé. If you're only a permanent resident, you do not have the option of sponsoring someone for a fiancé visa. You would have to marry them, okay? So those are the options. If, yeah, generally those are the options for couples, especially when you want to bring them from abroad, fiance or marriage, okay? I'm a citizen, Amy. Okay. I am a citizen. I filed petition for my daughter. For how long it's going to take? I was telling Merlin earlier as well. So you look at the petition. The petition has a date on it that says priority date. That is not the same as the receipt date. Okay. The priority date is going to make the determination of how long the case is going to take, along with the country for where your daughter is, and along with the category. So your daughter, is she married, not married? Okay. So you have, once you have that receipt in your hand, the I-130, because that has all the information that you need, you Google visa bulletin and you go to the most current visa bulletin and it will tell you the dates that they are currently working on. And then you can anticipate. Unmarried children could take another 7 to 8 years. Unmarried sons and daughters could take 15 years. I'm sorry, siblings are 15 to 16 years. So some of them take a long, long time. And if you want to see if there are other options to bring them here before that time, then you want to schedule an appointment and meet with an immigration attorney. Okay, so your daughter is 34. She's from Ghana. Is she married? Is she single? That makes a difference. Okay, so you want to look at that. Visa Bulletin has all the answers when it comes to that. Okay, especially when you petition for someone and you have to have them come from abroad. All right. I am done for today, guys. Hopefully this was useful, and I will see you tomorrow about the same time. And we're going to talk about general family immigration. Okay? So talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.